Welcome to episode 2 of our Paul and Carole Loves to Travel group cruise on the beautiful Sky Princess cruise ship. In this episode we give you top tips on what to do in Kristiansand and Oslo in Norway. There's Paul versus the world in a 70s and 80s music quiz, plus more food, more entertainment and general shenanigans. Before we sail into Kristiansand, here are some stats about the Sky Princess. She weighs 141,000 gross tons, is 330 metres or 1,083 feet long, is 38.4 metres or 126 feet wide, and can carry 3,660 passengers with a crew of 1,346. Top speed is 22 knots, which is just over 25 miles per hour, and the Sky Princess maiden voyage was October the 15th, 2019. Situated on the southern part of Norway on the Skagan coast, which connects the North Sea to the Baltic Sea, Kristiansand is a city in Agder County, Norway. The city is easily accessible from the port, making it very convenient for self-exploring. Kristiansand has a population of around 120,000 people and has been inhabited since prehistoric times. In 1996, a well-preserved skeleton of a woman dating back to 6,500 BC was discovered. Kristiansand takes its name from King Kristian IV, who founded it on the 5th of July, 1644. Let's give you some top tips on what to do in Kristiansand and show you what some of our group got up to. As we said earlier, Kristiansand is easy to self-explore, but if you fancy seeing the city at a more leisurely pace, then the hop-on hop-off noddy train is a great option, and it costs just £9. If you love exploring beautiful buildings, you should definitely head to the Kristiansand Domkirke. The Cathedral of the Church of Norway dates back to 1885 and is built in the Gothic Revival style. Its tallest part is 70 metres high and it can seat 1,000 people. If you fancy going slightly further afield, then head to Odderøya Park. This former naval base has a fort, scenic pathways, small beaches and lovely views of the ocean and the city. A walk around the park is approximately 3 kilometres. If your balance is better than ours, why not try a Segway tour with Flying High? It takes in all the city highlights and costs €60 per person. And if you'd like to cool off and take a dip, then head to Bystranda Beach. Fancy spending more time on the water? Then you've got plenty of options. From an exhilarating rib ride with Nature Norway, where you'll see wildlife, remote villages and get great views of the ship, and all this for just £72 per person. Feeling more sporty? Then maybe a kayak adventure is for you. But if it's relaxation you're after, there are plenty of leisure boat tours available too. Back on the ship, and it was time for our next meet-up.
Right then, so another fantastic meet-up done, wasn't it? And with the help of Sean, one of our top-tier patrons, we asked people, did anyone want to help? And he did. And he did a quiz for us, didn't he?
He did a TV and movies quiz.
Yeah.
Sean, who is going to take you through the film and TV quiz. Everyone give Sean a round of applause. You understand me? Yes. No subtitles up there, by the way, so slow down. I'll translate if we need to.
If you know any of the answers, let us know in the comments below.
What's the name of the pub in The Simpsons? Who's the main character in Breaking Bad? Guess the film by the picture. Number 11. Guess the favorite persons.
The team that won, what I couldn't believe was how intelligent they were, but how incredibly good looking they were as well.
Yes. We won. We were with Gary, weren't we? Gary Bembridge.
So it's the dream team.
Yeah.
And we got maximum points, but also Ben and Tony, who are head of security.
Yeah, and our friends from home.
We didn't even realise they were playing the quiz, but they had 18 as well. And the tie break, now this will be very interesting, no cheating. You had to name, at the end of the Waltons, when they'd say like, "Good night, John boy," you had to name all the people that you would say goodnight to in the Waltons. We only got 4 or 5, but apparently there's 11.
There's 11 of them. So let us know in the comments.
How many would you
How
have
many
got?
do you know without Googling? So yeah, it was fun. And then we were just chatting to all our members of the group, and I had a fantastic time, didn't we, Paulie?
It was excellent.
We were just overwhelmed of we're just laughing all the time, and there's so many great people, and I know we keep saying, but thank you so much for choosing to join us, because it's been absolutely awesome so far.
After a fabulous meet-up and stacks of photos, it was time for sail away and dinner. Once again, the food, company and service at dinner was excellent. Carole's choices was prawn cocktail to start, pan-seared barramundi fish for her main, and chocolate mousse for dessert. I chose chicken tikka to start, which was surprisingly spicy, leg of lamb for my main, and I also finished with a chocolate mousse. After dinner, we headed back to our cabin to chill out before the evening's entertainment. This was the view from our balcony.
The entertainment so far on Sky Princess has been fabulous, and tonight we were treated to a show by Dan Looney, who is the actual cruise director on here.
It was singing with a little dash of comedy thrown in. He's a really good all-round showman, exactly what you'd expect from a good cruise director, and I have to say a really good cross-section of songs he sang, and being backed by the Princess Orchestra, which they're fabulous too. Nice brass section, guitar, pianos, that sort of stuff. But just from start to finish, it was fabulous.
He told his life story, and it was very poignant. He's had a roller coaster of experiences. He's went through a very dark time at one point, and it was really, I think it's very brave for people to stand up on stage, particularly men, and talk about things and struggles. And it was brilliant. It was quite an emotional roller coaster, wasn't it? So fair play to Dan if you're watching that. It was absolutely incredible, and it makes hopefully make people to talk about when they have issues and see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel when things are quite dark. So that was I thought it was a great story.
It was, yeah.
And an absolute fantastic show. So if you see Dan Looney on a ship, then make sure you go and see his show.
If I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? I think it's the moment, the day beyond. Oh, when there was doubt, I hate it all. I'm spinning off.
And then we finished the night off back at the Good Spirits Bar, just sat to the side, sort of out of the way, isn't it? And we're just an evening, just full of laughter, banter, and just with some good people.
We had amassed quite a gang there, because there's about 25, 30 of us at one point. So yeah, it's been fabulous.
It has.
Our next port of call is Oslo, which is the capital of Norway and also the most populated area too. As you can see, it's another port which is very easy to self-explore should you choose to do so. It occupies an arc of land at the northern end of Oslo Fjord. It's surrounded to the south by mountains and green hills, and there are also 40 small islands within the city limits. The city has a population of 750,000, with the metropolitan area having a population of over 1.5 million. Oslo's major trades are banking, industry and shipping. Oslo constantly ranks as one of the most expensive cities in the world to live. Right then, here are some top tips from our group on what to do when visiting Oslo. First up is a tour of the city on the hop-on, hop-off bus. You can catch the bus from just outside the port and it costs approximately £36 per person. There are 2 companies operating this service, and the general consensus was getting there early is best if you want to avoid the queues. If you're a lover of art, then Oslo should definitely be on your to-do list. First up, there's the Sculpture Park. It's dedicated to Norwegian sculptor Gustav Vigeland, celebrating his life work of over 200 sculptures in wrought iron, granite and bronze. Most are installed in the 1940s, but it celebrates over 40 years of work. The Sculpture Park is free to enter and never closes. It's one of Norway's most popular tourist attractions. The Munch Museum opened its doors in 1963 to celebrate what would have been Oslo's most famous son, Edvard Munch's 100th birthday. The artist donated half of his entire paintings, prints, sculptures and books, and in 2004, armed robbers stole Munch's most famous painting, The Scream. They also stole Madonna, but not sure if it was the one with the big boobies. Police recovered both paintings 2 years later. The royal palace was built in the early 19th century as residence for French-born King Charles XIV, who had resigned as the King of Norway and Sweden. The palace is now the official residence of the current Norwegian monarch, King Harald V. A major renovation took place, which was finished in 2003. Next up, and I apologise in advance for my pronunciation, is the Holmenkollbakken, which is a large ski jumping centre that is featured in Olympics and World Championships. The views from the top of the jumps are absolutely breathtaking. Back down to ground level and you can see some fabulous architecture. Havnegaret, which surprisingly is a commercial building, and also the Oslo Opera House. And as you make your way back to the ship, you'll also come across some very unusual sculptures too.
With our tummies rumbling, we headed to deck 16 to Slice. Slice is the all-included pizza place and we can confirm that it was absolutely delicious. Slice is open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. With our bellies full, it was now time for our next meet-up.
For our meet-up today, Dan put together a fabulous 70s and 80s music quiz. The 80s are definitely my specialised subject, so Dan decided it was me against the rest of the room. Sadly, due to copyright, we can't play you the music clips, but it's fair to say a good time was had by all. The result: Alfie, Ken and Lindsay were the best team with 40 points. I scored 41 points out of 42. Disappointingly, Carole wouldn't let me have the prize, so we gave it to Alpha's team instead. 38. Oh, Alpha's still 40.
Alfie's still here.
Alfie. 40. Congratulations to Alfie. I know he's with Ken and Lindsay and they would have been no help at all. But Lindsay has drank 17 cocktails during this quiz. After another fun meet-up, our friends Tom, Helen and Lily invited us, family and some friends, up to their fabulous penthouse suite to watch the sail away from Oslo. The weather was perfect, as was the snacks and drinks from concierge. It was a wonderful sail away, as you can see here. Before we knew it, it was time for dinner. We've had a fabulous time in the Cielo restaurant and getting the chance to dine with so many of our friends, family, Patreons and guests has made it even more special. The Cielo dining room is by reservation only, but if you prefer a more relaxed approach with no fixed times, you can use the Estrella dining room, which is open for dinner from 5:30 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. For our dinner tonight, Carole started with the Princess Shrimp Cocktail, while I chose the Vol-au-Vent Grand Chef Lobster and Shrimp Bisque. We both chose the rack of lamb for our mains. Carole finished things off with a lemon raspberry bar, and my dessert was a delicious chocolate tart. After a delicious dinner, we headed for an after-dinner drink at what is fast becoming our favourite place, the Wakeview Bar. Found on deck 16, it's open from 6 AM until 11 PM. Sadly, even in the sun and with some fluffy blankets, it quickly became a bit too chilly, and with the exertions of the last few days finally catching up with us, we decided to have an early night. Join us in our final episode where we explore wonderful Copenhagen and show you more of what we got up to on our first ever group cruise.